Announcing the commencement of the first purge.
I want you to change the world, and don't think that this is going to happen peacefully or you can do it alone. We need to kill the rich. You get out there, you use your weapons, and you rip Washington apart. You hunt down the billionaires, the bank bosses, the CEOs, the scumbags, and the liars, the governors, the lobbyists, the senators, because they're all the same, and you hang them.
Just remember all the good the purge does.
Good morning, everyone. It's, I think it's the 19th. I'm not sure. No, it's the 20th. It's June 20th. Holy fuck. June is going by really fast. So I just got through reading this article about the myth of the perfect bug-out bag. They talk about, you can think in advance as well as you can, but you're going to forget something. You're going to forget something in your bag, and your bag is probably not big enough to hold everything you need. Which is why we're buying a bug-out camper. It's just a little tow-behind trailer, but we can store all of our food and our life straws, our water filters, and all that shit inside that, and and be pretty well prepared. So, but no matter what, whether I have a trailer with 100 years worth of food, or 5 years, or whatever, something's going to be missing. I'm not going to think of everything. And eventually, you're going to have to take what you need. Because how can you think of everything, right? How can you possibly know what you're going to need a year from now? How can you possibly know? I mean, you have a general idea, but that's a general idea. That's way different than knowing exactly what you're going to need. So, there is no perfect prep plan. Everyone who preps is going to forget about something. And it may be non-consequential what you forget, but you may need an item that could really make your life a whole lot easier in such a environment. And if you forget it, well, you're stuck improvising. Like a pry bar, a simple pry bar. How handy a simple crowbar, bolt cutters, these kinds of things would be. The bolt cutters, you can get into places that are chain locked, chain locked and padlocked. Well, we have this set of bolt cutters. It's about 3-4 feet long. It can pretty much cut through most anything it's thrown at. My buddy Gene bought them for me. I think I mentioned him in my last video, or one of them anyway, which is where I'm getting my camper from, which is where my bomb shelter is, and all kinds of other neat things. So I just got through watching this video, and I'm not going to play it for you because I don't want to jack other people's work, but it is really eye-opening when it comes to geoengineering and chemtrailing. I've wondered for quite a long time why I have to spend the first 2 hours of my day clearing my sinuses out. I'm pretty sure that it's directly linked to chemtrails. Now, in this video, there's this strange test that you can do on yourself, and you kind of cough up the stuff that's you're inhaling from the chemtrails, and they use wine and then drop some a small amount of rubbing alcohol into the dish with it. And it looked like the shit come alive. I mean, it was moving around. It was trying to get out of the dish. I gotta wonder, what the fuck is that shit? I'm going somewhere with this. Just bear with me. We have people who believe the government is, compassionate, benevolent, or benevolent. Those two words really. And yet, and they think, they're the good guys. They'll never do anything to hurt you, but yet they're dropping. They're dropping aluminum, dried blood cells. And I know, somebody got on my last video about chemtrails and said, oh, that's bullshit. It's not bullshit. The tests were done, and they found dried blood cells, among a whole mess of other things. And then Luke Podolsky, or however you say his fucking name, he interviews a former Air Force officer, and she completely spilled the beans. And how can you believe a institution that poisons you, poisons every aspect of your life? I mean, everything. Your food, your medicine, your air, your water, everything. How can you believe that they're not going to attack you in the physical realm at some time? I mean, they've been training for it for as far as back as I can remember. I mean, I can't even remember events of my own life, but I do remember that. So they've been dumping these chemicals on us. They've been allowing Monsanto to saturate and people to use their chemicals to saturate the environment with it. I mean, it's just everywhere. It's all over the air. These little particles floating around. And you're inhaling that shit. And then a couple of years later, you end up going to the hospital for some sort of medical emergency, and you find out you have cancer. You're not a smoker. There's no good rhyme or reason for why you have cancer. But somehow, you get it. And this happens almost every day in this country. Meanwhile, people like me who abuse our bodies by smoking, we do just fine. How is that? Why? And I do abuse my body. I abuse myself. I'm terrible on myself. I put myself through the ringers. I make myself hungry. I go days sometimes without barely eating a thing. You know why I do that? So that I'm strong for the main event. And you need to be strong for the main event. You're going to need to muster every bit of strength that you have, or you're going to die. So when a disaster happens in your area, one big enough for FEMA to come in, you're going to have to make a choice. You're going to have to either fight FEMA or go on one of their prison barges where your body disappears indefinitely. No one ever sees or hears from you again. And you're just a statistic of a natural disaster. Prove it, right? That's what they'll say. Prove it. Oh, I think that would be better for us to act before they come for us. I think it'd be the smartest move to make. But who's going to listen? Nobody. You know why? Because I have fucking 88 subscribers. And I need your help. I need your help to spread my work. Can you do that for me? Can you share my video on social media? I hope you can. No, I tried to get somebody else to do it yesterday, but he says he don't have a social media account, but he believes that people need to hear what I'm saying. And yes, today is the day I go back to my slavery. And, you know, by spreading my videos, by trying to help me out, you would be saving me from this enslavement. We all have to do what we have to do. We're slaves one way or another, right? But by sharing my video, you will help me break my bondage, and I will help you break yours. In return, how can any of you who see this, how can you believe that your government, our government, has your best interest in mind when they're constantly spraying shit on you? Shit that will make you sick. When they're constantly allowing corporations to dump pollutants into the environment, like Roundup, like Fukushima. They should have never allowed that shit to be built there, but they did anyway, because why not? It's only our planet, after all. It's only our habitat. It's only where we live and all the things we eat live, but you know, let's go ahead and build this reactor right here on a fault line in a tsunami-prone area. I have to wonder, I mean, and these people are smart enough to build these reactors, but how can they not be smart enough to choose an appropriate spot, if there's even such a thing for one of these reactors? See? There's that fucking chemtrail snot. So, have you remembered everything that you need? Now, do you have axes? Do you have knives, machetes? Do you have weapons that don't need gunpowder? Do you? Like a crossbow, compound bow, a regular, you know, what are those called? Broadbows, I think. Do you have anything like that? Do you have at least a powerful air rifle? If you don't have these things, you're fucking yourself. And do you have the water filters that I've been telling you about? If you don't, you're fucking yourself. You think boiling the water is going to be enough? No, it's not. It's already not enough. I mean, the Mississippi River right now, the people along the Mississippi they're getting black water, and the authorities are telling them that it's safe to drink. Yet they make a public service announcement about some brain-eating amoeba in that very same water, but somehow it's safe to drink. Of course, You can kill the amoeba through boiling, but what else is in there? Remember, these filters, they filter out 99.9999% of everything. There's very minute amount of left over, which is way better than what's coming straight out of that tap or the river, the creek you decide to set up camp by. Well, this Roundup, this chemtrailing, this environmental pollution, it's all meant to make you sick. I mean, the medical industry is thriving for this reason. If they had a nation of healthy, well-balanced people, there would be no need for such an industry, would there? But in order to generate these tax dollars, in order to keep these corporations floating, in order to keep you sick, they just let it all happen. And by the way, it's always an inside job. If there's a nuclear detonation on our soil, it will be an inside job, just like 9/11, just like the Boston bombing, just like Sandy Hook, just like all of them. Our time is running out. And when that time runs out, we're not going to be able to mount an effective resistance for a very long time, for at least months. But if we were to have a plan, a place or places, and an understanding of what needs to be done beforehand, if we started running operations beforehand, stand a lot better chance than we would if we waited until everything fucking collapsed. I mean, right now we can get a lot of ammo. Right now we can get a lot of crossbow bolts. Right now we can get black powder. We can get a lot of things right now that we just ain't going to be able to get our hands on without some wet work later. Are you following me here? I hope so. Share my work. I must have done a video that you like, otherwise you wouldn't keep coming back and watching me. I must resonate with you if you keep coming back. So why not spread what I'm saying? Why not say it yourself? Now, I said that yesterday that I would try to continue to make videos on the days I go and do my slave work. So here I am. And I will try to do another one either before or after my slave work. But until then, I would like you to think about sharing my work on your social media. I know there's no flashy slides and none of that stuff. It's just me talking to you. But I'm telling you the truth. And that's all that should matter. Please share my work. Give me a thumbs up. I mean, you can go to the link below and see my fucking whole name. You can look at my social media account. You can see what kind of person I am. You can see that I'm worthy of your help. I need your help to spread this. So please, share, thumbs up, comment, and talk for yourselves. You know I'm right. You know I am. Till next time, kill the state before it